What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about the death of Turo. Now, don't get me wrong, I still know there's some people on the application making money, so if you are one of those individuals, please put in the comment section below what kind of cars you're renting out, what city and state you're in, so this way we can share some of the information with the group. But majority of the people are losing money or not making the same amount of money as what they used to. As we start to see that people are leaving the platform, Turo's getting more saturated, and it's just not what it used to be. Now, we made a joke a while back saying that most of these people are going to be burnt out by 18 to 24 months because every 2 years, that is the cycle for rental car businesses. Everybody jumps in the industry thinking they're going to make a bunch of money, and they don't run it correctly, and they wind up going out of business. So today we're going to talk about some of the principles and procedures that you need to know about to implement in your rental car business so you don't fail, but then also what's currently going on with the rental car market and how the race to the bottom is going to affect you. So before I get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out to SimpliSafe for sponsoring the video. More on that later. So I know about 80% of you guys watching this video decided to join the rental car business during the pandemic, which was actually the best time to get in because the demand was high, but the supply was small. And plus, you heard so many people telling stories of, oh, I rented out my junky 2012 Nissan Altima and I was getting $100 a day. So it gave birth to a lot of these people doing it as a side hustle. And then it also, unfortunately, gave birth to all the wannabe Turo gurus all over Instagram and Facebook telling you need to buy 14 cars in your personal name and max it out and Turo's going to the moon. Well, like we said before, every 18 to 24 months, the rental car business is a cycle, and a lot of these clowns were going to get kicked off during that time. And as you can see now, where are all the Turo and hire car gurus now? They're all gone. They're all off of YouTube because they can't make money on the platform. And also, now a lot of these guys are doing what's called automated renting, where they're taking your cars and renting it out themselves because they realize that if you buy cars, and you actually have all the overhead and debt, you can't make any money. You can only make money on something that you don't own, which I'll get into that here in a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about the race to the bottom. This is one of the things that really scared me at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022 because the market was completely different than what it was during the pandemic. Everybody and their grandma jumped on and, like I said, unfortunately saturated the market. So now you have all these people on the platform basically with no rentals. People are back to work. The money's not there. You can see the economy slowing down. So the demand is basically shrinking rapidly. So what happens? We start to get extremely cutthroat when it comes to prices for vehicles. So you, as a traditional Turo host, is like, okay, well, I need to rent my car out for, let's say, $60 a day. And let's just say it's this beautiful Mercedes here. You're like, I need to rent this out for $60 a day. It's going to be $20 for my loan, $20 for depreciation and miles, and then another $20 for profit. So that's how I come up with my $60 a day number. Well, unfortunately, you have all these people that have the exact same car as you that are not businesses, that are just regular people. All they care about is making the minimum monthly payment so they don't lose their car. So what happens? Now all these people are basically putting their cars up for $30 a day or $40 a day just so they can get rentals. Now, you as the person trying to run a correct business at $60 a day is now going to be passed up. Because remember, back in the day, Turo used to highlight the people that took care of their customers, that had great reviews, that were power and super hosts, and you had great, all that stuff, right? But now, what do they push? Whatever the cheapest thing possible. So even though you're a great host and you're a good guy and you're taking care of your customers, if there's somebody there with a car that's $10, $20 less than yours, bet your ass they're going to be pushing that car all the way to the top. So now we have this race to the bottom as far as pricing goes. So people are basically lowering their prices just to get cars out there so this way they can rent them out so they don't have to actually pay their cars. Then on top of that, we have so many people that during the pandemic bought these cars at ultimate retail highs. So let's say you bought a Tesla at $60,000. Because everybody at that time was renting them for $200. I don't know if you guys remember all these guys telling you don't buy anything but Teslas because you'll get $200 a day. Well, now here in Vegas, I've seen Teslas, Model 3s, as low as $45 to $50 a day. So that's $200 a day are pretty much gone now. So what happens is these people are living high on the hog with their $1,500 a month car payment with their Tesla. Now they have that plus maybe their $300 insurance. They have to make $1,800 to break even. So now they're at the point where they can't even basically make the money to make profit, so they can't pay down the principal and the mileage and depreciation of the actual vehicle. So what do? They just want to make enough money to make the payment so they can just get through another month. And unfortunately what happens is All these people are stuck in this rat race where they're just getting the cars cheaper, they're beating the shit out of their cars, and they can't get rid of their inventory. Now, remember I told you, every 18 to 24 months, the rental car business cycles. It is a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. It's summertime. That means it's time for barbecues, road trips, and vacations. Now, one thing I'm always worried about is making sure that my house, my car, and everything else is safe. And that's where today's sponsor comes in. There is no safe like Simply Safe. I want to tell you guys about Simply Safe's 24/7 live guard protection. This is something that's really neat. It helps stops crime in real time. 24/7 live guard protection is exclusive to Simply Safe. Professional monitoring agents can see and speak live to intruders that are in your home, stopping them in their tracks. Immediate intruder deterrence. The smart alarm indoor camera is the only indoor camera that can instantly trigger the alarm and deter intruders with a built-in siren and live two-way agent audio. Faster police response. Simply Safe monitoring agents can capture evidence to verify the threat is real, so you can get priority emergency dispatch. Simply Safe has options for everybody, no matter what you want to monitor. I have one here that's for water, to help detect if my fish tank goes out. I have one here that helps let me know if I break glass, because my front doors are glass. And I also have a motion detector to notify me if anybody's walking around my house where they're not supposed to. With so many amazing features and options, Simply Safe is something that you need to put in your home. So save 20% on your security system when you sign up for Fast Protection Plan. And get your first month free with using my special promo code, simplysafe.com/Lucky Lopez. So make sure you go to simplysafe.com/Lucky Lopez and save up today to get your 20% off. Just remember, it is summertime. You're going to be going on vacations, traveling, doing all this stuff. You want to make sure that your home, your family, and your belongings are protected. You can relax and know that Simply Safe has got your back 24/7. What I mean by that is every 18 to 24 months, rental car companies will get their cars, use them for a little bit, and get rid of them. But the only way we're able to do that is if we buy them, at a decent price, not all super high retail. We usually put, like I said, 10, 20, 30% down. And then we also have very short loans. So most of my rental cars were on like a 45 or 48 month loan. And then they ask for big down payments and higher interest because it incentivizes you to pay the car down. But during the pandemic, like I said, everybody had these brand new cars with 84 months. They put no money down and they were paying just the minimum, not the principal. So during the pandemic, a lot of the rental car companies were making so much money, they were paying down their vehicle loans. So this way, even if they decide to get out of the rental business, they could sell their cars and they'll be left with a chunk of cash. Now this is the opposite with pretty much 90% of the Turo hosts out there. They owe more money on the cars than what they're worth. They can't get out of them. So even if they want to sell their cars just to get out of the business, they're done renting their cars out on Turo, they can't. They owe more money than what it's worth. And they're not making enough money off of Turo to pay the car down fast enough without beating it up and depreciating it. Basically, they'll never be able to outrun the depreciation curve is what I'm saying. And so now they have two choices. They just keep renting it out till the car falls apart and dies, or Turo kicks them off because maybe they have too many complaints because the car is falling apart or they're just beating it up, or they just give it back to the bank or it gets repoed. And that's what we're currently seeing now is this desperation in the market to basically price everything extremely low. You have a lot of unprofessional people renting out their cars for next to nothing. Where, traditionally we tell everybody, you look at your market, you see what your car is worth, your value, your depreciation, your miles, and that's how most of us rental car companies figure out the daily price for our vehicles. But you guys can't do that on Turo. Turo, if you need to make $60 a day to outrun depreciation and pay off your car and be out of it in 24 months, they don't care because if Turo says your car is worth 30 bucks a day and you need 60, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get 30 bucks a day. And unfortunately, now there's so many incentives to push people to lower their prices as fast as we can, which starts the race to the bottom. Now, we're going to go into some of the processes and procedures of how to stay away from this. Now, like I said, I don't hate Turo. I think Turo is a great platform to get started, to learn about the business, to see if you want to do it. And it's a cheap, affordable way to get into the industry. I think it's a good thing, not a bad thing. Just want to make that clear. But at the same point, if you're not taught the correct principles, like you'd be surprised how many Turo hosts I've interviewed on this channel. And if you guys go back and see some of my videos, I meet all these guys. I'm a Turo guru. I got 67 cars. And then we start talking about depreciation, miles, what they pay, what they make. And then we break it down for like hourly wage, what they cost to wash the car, go pick it up. These guys were running in the negative quite a bit. And so after showing a lot of these people, it's funny. Now they stop like messaging about it. They stop talking about it on YouTube. And so I want to share a lot of this stuff with you guys because like I said, I do believe it's a great business to get into. And as we head into this recession, you're going to see people can't afford cars. And they're going to be desperate. And they're going to want to rent cars. So if you're buying a bunch of cheap, affordable cars to rent them out to the general public, I think you're actually going to do great. The rental cars we're going to rent here in Vegas are going to be classic cars along with commercial vehicles like utility trucks and box trucks. And we're going to do a lot of cheap buckets, stuff for like Uber Eats, Postmates, cheap little cars that we can give people for $200, $300 a week where they can just make money and then pretty much just beat the hell out of them and we don't really care. So one of the first bits of advice I'm going to give you guys is build your rental car business off a system. Don't build it off of what somebody says. Unfortunately, there are a lot of YouTube gurus that are going to tell you to buy only Mercedes, only Teslas, only this. I'm going to tell you this. Buy what's in your market. If you are looking on your market, let's say you live in Los Angeles and you think that Tesla's the way to go, why don't you look up Teslas? That market is so oversaturated in LA, it's ridiculous. Don't get into it, stay away from it. Look at minivans. Look at maybe larger trucks. Look at anything else to see what there is. Because if there's only 5 minivans in your area that's for rent and there's 77 Teslas that are at half price, why would you want to compete with all those Teslas when you can basically have an open minivan market? So build your business off the actual market that you're in and do research. Don't pick any specific cars. Also, I tell everybody, buy cheap cars. Don't buy brand new shit. You're not a brand new rental car company. Even me doing it for 20 years, I still never bought any cars brand new exclusively for rental car business. I always bought them back of the depreciation curve and I got them cheap, usually with body damage or something wrecked, to turn into a rental car. So this way, if for some reason it didn't work out or I wasn't making the money, I wasn't into that car too deep and I can be able to get out of it. Second thing I'm going to tell you guys, build an LLC. Go get any type of business funding. You can co-sign for your business, but get your cars in your corporation name because what happens is if you ever want to leave the platform of Turo, you cannot do it unless your cars are registered in your company name and your insurance is in your company name. Because what happens is if you, let's say, have your cars sitting outside one day and then somebody comes by with a bottle of gas, puts a flame to them and burns them all up. If the cars are not registered in your company's name and your insurance is in your company's name, they will deny your claims. Or if you get in a really bad accident, same thing. So you need to make sure that you build it correctly from the beginning. That's one of the things. All your rental cars have to be in your company name with your company insurance. Also, another thing, stop renting out other people's cars. You're not supposed to do that. Technically, it's illegal, but Turo lets you get away with it. You don't want that risk and liability. All the times I tell people, I have a facility of 2 acres here in Vegas. Why don't you think I take your guys' rental cars? I get people offer me all the time. I got Ferraris, Lambos, G-Wagons, regular cars. Hey, Lucky, I'm going to give you my cars. Just run them out in Vegas for me. I don't do it because I don't want the liability or the headache. I'm going to be having to wash your cars, chase them, and then if somebody breaks something, you're going to expect me to fix it. It's not worth the headache. So why trust these people with no money and nothing in their pockets to rent out your cars for you? And unfortunately, a lot of these rental car automation gurus are starting to pop up now. Don't believe any of that bullshit. Just build it correctly, do it that way, keep the cars in your name, rent out only your cars so you are the master of your own destiny. And if you're broke and you're trying to start this, take your time. Don't start borrowing money from people and buying cars you can't afford. I get so many consulting calls and I feel bad. I'm going to say this. I know there's a guy I just talked to last week. If you don't have the cash to do this business, don't. Stop. Don't even think about it. Don't think of, well, this is the business that's going to change my life. The rental car business is for people that already have money. I'm going to tell you this right now. And you can ask Rob Freddy, you can ask Houston Costa, you can ask any of us. Well, I'll tell you the same thing. It costs a lot of freaking money. And I'm going to give you one great example. You never ever call your insurance company. I don't know if you guys ever heard me say this, but if you rent cars out to the public, whether it's Turo, Hire Car, whatever else, or even through your own company, you never call your insurance company. So every time I have an accident, I always try to fight with the person's insurance, whoever rented its insurance. If they're taking their sweet time and not paying me, I take my own personal money and I fix the car. So you got to have the capital to fix your car and then chase their insurance. Because remember, if you file a claim against your personal insurance, against their insurance, oh, they're going to pay me later, whatever else. Every time you file a claim, that's what's called a loss usage. So when you go to renew your rental car insurance policy, I promise you, your insurance is going to be double, if not triple, because you used it 1 or 2 times. So that's why I tell people, you got to have cash. You got to be able to fix these cars. And if you buy luxury cars, then now you're going to have maybe $20,000, $30,000 on the sidelines just to fix those. You want to buy Ferraris, Lamborghinis? Well, now you got to have $100,000 to $200,000 cash on the sidelines just to fix those. So, like I said, the rental car business is great. Don't believe all the hype. Like I said, watch Turo, because you can see this too. A lot of platforms, they did have exotic cars, classic cars, everything. You're going to see this. Like I said, they're kicking off all the exotic cars. Next to go is the Highline cars, I promise you, because they don't want to pay out G-Wagon $200,000 car insurances because people are rolling these things over, crashing and all that stuff. So little by little, Turo is changing, and it's not for the better. And you can see it slowly starting to die off. So anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys and your opinions. Sorry I rambled a little bit. Sometimes I just kind of start and I don't really have a script. I just think of all the crazy things that's bothering me. But please put in the comment section below some of your problems that you're having with Turo, or some of the good things. Like I said, there are good things and bad things about it, but I'd love to share information, because the whole purpose of this channel is to be transparent about the automotive industry. And so whatever you say definitely goes a long way with helping others in the group. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.